This is without precedent in American history. The former president of the United States now subject to a search of his primary residence by the FBI.
This raid should be the wake-up call of all wake-up calls in America.
Today, I signed an order appointing Jack Smith to serve as special counsel.
The special counsel will oversee the probes into Mr. Trump's role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol and into classified documents he kept at Mar-a-Lago.
President Trump's been indicted by New York District Attorney Alvin Bragg.
This is about every single Republican, anyone who challenges the power of the Democrats.
It undermines our republic. It undermines our democracy.
Breaking news. It appears for the first time in American history, an American president has been indicted on federal charges.
This one for his alleged mishandling of classified documents.
The former president was indicted for a third time,
charging Donald J. Trump with conspiring to defraud the United States, conspiring to disenfranchise voters, and conspiring and attempting to obstruct an official proceeding.
It could be right. It could be wrong. It does not make it criminal to have that belief.
Criminal case number 4, the state of Georgia versus Donald John Trump.
The defendants engaged in a criminal racketeering enterprise to overturn Georgia's presidential election result.
For the former and potentially future president, his fourth arrest since the spring, leaving him to face a combined 91 criminal counts.
Former President Trump is speaking out about that unprecedented photograph, seen literally around the world. His mugshot, a historic first.
Democrats in several states trying to keep former President Trump from being on the ballot in 2024, and their argument is the 14th Amendment.
6 voters in Colorado filing a lawsuit Wednesday seeking to remove him from the state's election ballots.
If someone swears to uphold the Constitution, they are disqualified from holding office if they go and engage in insurrection, rebellion.
Donald Trump has not been charged with any sort of insurrection or rebellion. In fact, Jack Smith, as far as we know, affirmatively considered that charge and declined to move forward on it.
We are happy to announce today that we have filed for an injunction against this removal procedure with the Colorado courts on behalf of the Republican Party of Colorado.
The Fulton County, Georgia election interference case against President Donald Trump, the district attorney and a top prosecutor have been ordered to publicly testify under oath about a matter that they've tried to keep private.
Do not mix your personal funds with the funds of your business and the funds of your client. It is something that is written in stone for all attorneys.
It is a lie. It is a lie.
Trying to defend her reputation and save her election interference case against the former president.
The high court just said moments ago that Mr. Trump can stay on this year's presidential ballot in Colorado.
This is a 9-0 smackdown of the left's efforts to politicize the law.
The ACLJ was involved in this issue representing the Republican Party of Colorado.
All 9 justices agree that this is the wrong process, and that's it.
Breaking news from the Supreme Court about former President Donald Trump.
Its order tonight says it will hear arguments the week of April 22nd into whether, and if so, to what extent, does a former president enjoy presidential immunity from criminal prosecution.
249 years of American presidents, and never has anything like this happened before.
Donald Trump is a convicted felon. A jury of 12 New Yorkers found the former president and presumptive Republican nominee guilty as charged.
This is a very serious wake-up call that the consequences of this extend far beyond this case, this verdict.
I think we have one election cycle to correct this.
It was a clash of 2 presidents, one current, one former, now locked in a rematch for the White House.
The total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Multiple Democratic lawmakers concerned about the president's performance, with some wondering anonymously whether he should remain on the ticket.
The universal reaction was somewhere approaching panic.
On the final day of its term, the High Court has just issued one of its most consequential rulings in recent decades.
The Supreme Court has issued a ruling on the extent of presidential immunity from criminal prosecution.
He is entitled to at least presumptive immunity from prosecution for all his official acts.
Just said, take a look at what happened.
This is one of the biggest moments in American history.
We were an inch away from a live execution.
This stunning photo from the New York Times capturing a bullet whizzing by the former president's ear.
The case where he's been accused of hoarding classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate has just been dismissed by a federal judge in Florida.
The judge fully agreed with former President Trump's defense attorneys that the appointment of special counsel Jack Smith by Attorney General Merrick Garland was unconstitutional.
So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States.
President Biden has ended his re-election campaign and endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris.
While it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down.
He went out kicking and screaming. He did not want this to happen. His own party forced him out.
We're going to do convention recap, Logan?
Yeah,
or maybe we are going to do what is the craziest 10 days in politics I can remember in my life, certainly.
I mean, I pulled my kids aside. It was like, remember all of these moments.
Yes.
Because this is wild.
Kamala Harris stepping onto the convention stage and into history.
I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America. Second assassination attempt on former President Trump after a Secret Service agent fired multiple shots at the man, forcing him to flee. Later, sheriff's deputies made an arrest about 50 miles away.
He echoed the anti-Trump rhetoric used by Vice President Kamala Harris and President Biden.
We can now project the winner of the presidential race.
Donald Trump will become the 47th President of the United States.
Defeating Vice President Kamala Harris and making a political comeback unlike any in modern American politics.
This will forever be remembered as the day the American people regained control of their country.
Special counsel Jack Smith filed 2 motions today. One was to end the case on how Trump handled classified documents after his first presidency, where prosecutors had been appealing a previous dismissal. The other was to dismiss the 2020 election interference case.
For a case that made history, this broad federal prosecution of a former U.S. president for election conspiracy, it sure does end with a whimper.
A Georgia Court of Appeals has disqualified the Fulton County DA, Fani Willis.
Nathan Wade stepping down was not enough to cure the appearance of impropriety issue. Fani Willis herself had to be disqualified.
The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend. The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.